Hi. So I'm back this week to talk about how I've used my special interest, which is a characteristic of autism, having very focused interests on one thing. Now, I thought I was just super into music, which I am, but now with my diagnosis, I've realized that it's actually a special interest, which is something that you get laser focused on if you're autistic, to the exclusion of everything else. And that's definitely been true for me with music. Right from the minute I discovered it, I just zoned in on it. That was the only thing I cared about. Basically, I turned that into my career, a very successful career in Hollywood. And I wanted to talk about how I don't find autism to be a negative thing. For me in my life, I feel like I've harnessed a lot of the characteristics to bring me success. So I wanted to make a video about it. I've noticed with Alfie, he's got special interests himself, which are he loves music, he loves cars. That's exciting to me because I built my whole life around my special interest. And I only just realized that since I got diagnosed a couple of weeks ago. Special interest can be really positive because for me, when I'm engaging in my special interest, I feel regulated, I feel calm. Autism can make you feel dysregulated and can make you feel a bit bouncing off the walls. And when I'm in my special interest, when I'm making music, I'm completely in the zone. I'm completely honed in. I'm focused. And it just takes the world away. And I thought that was just everyone. But I realized after researching, it's an autism thing. So in a way, I'm happy for Alfie that he has the option to find something in his life that can regulate him and make complete sense of everything for him. When I'm making music, everything makes sense. The world makes sense. When I'm not making music, the world is confusing and scary. That's autism, I think. For me, that's my autism. It's good to know that it's possible to take something that used to be viewed as a negative and turn it into a positive force in your life. I didn't know when I was hyper-focused on this music, I didn't know that it was unusual. And people would say to me, and they still say now in the comments, like, how on earth do you write music so quickly? Like, also, I feel like I don't really know of anyone else that composed music for Hollywood films without being able to read or write music. I can't read or write music. Actually, I don't know anyone that composes music for films that didn't go to music school. I didn't even finish high school. I left at 15. I got a record deal for this weird music I was making on my own in my bedroom. I didn't finish high school. I just left straight away because I realized that's what I wanted to do. So yeah, I'm an oddball for that. Not studying music, not being able to read or write music, and yet writing music for Hollywood films. And I thank my autism for that. It's all completely instinctive. It's all by ear. So I feel a scene and I put that into my fingers, and that's how I write. Now I'm realizing how odd it is what I do and how much of a misfit I am, even in the Hollywood film community. Everyone is classically trained. And I would be working at very high levels on big films, and people would be like, how are you so fast? Autism. Now I know why. The answer to that. It's special interest autism. So I've harnessed that throughout my life, and I just realized it in the last few weeks since I've been diagnosed. And I'm a right oddball in the composing community to not be able to read or write music. And the way I work is, when I was working with Hans Zimmer, we would have people come round. You could mentor groups of kids that were into music and wanted to get into film music, and I used to love that. But when it came to trying to teach them how I worked, I couldn't do it because to other people, it looks so chaotic. And people would look at the way I worked and be like, how can you work like that? It doesn't make any sense. But to me, it makes perfect sense. I find logic and patterns in the chaos. Yeah, it was very hard for me to teach other people what I did, because to everyone, it looks completely insane. But to me, it works so well. And I always found that confusing. Like, how are other composers able to break down their process to people and it makes sense? And I'm just like a whirlwind of, craziness, but I'm writing music that people love. And so, yeah, I just wanted to make a video for anyone out there who has kids that have just been diagnosed, or anyone out there who's diagnosed themselves that is, feeling confused or feeling worried about autism. I wanted to put a special message out to you guys to say that it can. I know you see online, oh, it can be a superpower. And it's kind of abstract, like, what does that really mean? But I wanted to make a video to say that I really have used it as a superpower. When I discovered music, I was so into it that it was the only thing that mattered in my life. So I wouldn't go to school. I would constantly come home. I used to drive my mum and dad mad because the school would be ringing, where's Stephen, where's Stephen? But the minute I discovered music, it was all I wanted to do. So my mum would say, I'm going to take you to the school gate to make sure you go. So she would take me to the school gate. I would go in the front door. She would leave to go to work. I'd come out the back door, go home and write music. So because of this, in England, if you don't go to school, you have to see a child psychiatrist. And they sent me to see this guy. And he said to me, he said, why don't you go to school? And I said, because I'm writing music on synthesizers on my own at home, on my own, autism again. He said to me, you'll never get anywhere in life programming synthesizers on your own at home. So I wanted to prove that guy wrong. And I did. He said, draw me a picture of where you want to be when you grow up. I was about 13 and I drew myself in Hollywood. I didn't know anything about film music. All I knew is that I love synthesizers and I love making music. And that picture is exactly where I ended up, using this thing that the guy told me I would never amount to anything. But what he didn't realize is the autism superpower. So if you're struggling, or if you've just have a kid that's just been diagnosed, or you've just been diagnosed and you're worried, don't be worried. It can be a really positive thing. And my whole life is based on a special interest. My whole life is based on how I use my special interest to get into what I always dreamed of, which was making music for a living. So you guys, don't worry. Everything's going to work out. So yeah, I just wanted to quickly make a video about that. Why do people always say, I wanted to quickly jump on, I wanted to quickly make a video? It's just hit me there. Why is it always quick? It was quick though. I don't know what I'm talking about. I love you guys. I'll see you again next week, and love you guys. Bye.